Hey guys, Doug here with another episode of Caster's Cast. Today we're going to be going over my second place medal winning deck that I took to Lemoyne, Pennsylvania at Blue Moon Games. It was a really fun day of games, a lot of competitive decks I was up against, but this is what brought us home the medal. First and foremost, everybody got a pack of Seance and a participation medal. So what was cool is in my pack of Seance, I was lucky enough to pull this bad boy. My first Hateful Eight. It is a cursed contract. 2-drop spirit spell, very playable card. I think it's 3 per spell book, so I need 2 more. But man, this card is beautiful, and I was super stoked to pull that. And then for getting second place, part of our prize was an LGS promo. It just so happened to be the Cumberland Spaceman. Not a real playable card in my opinion. I mean, yeah, he's a 1-drop for 40, so I guess you could play him, but not really my style when it comes to Cosmic. There's so many options, but a really cool shiny card for my collection. And then everybody that went that day got a participation medal. It's funny, this is my second medal tournament, so I have one of these already. But at my first medals tournament, I placed 36. So it's really cool that I have progressed and got all the way up to second place. This card also is super playable in my opinion. At first I was thinking, are these cards really that playable? And now I'm starting to see why they are. Second place medal, 3 neutral, 50 LP, 1 per spellbook. You may fatigue this artifact to have all beasties under your control gain plus 25 LP, plus 25 damage until the end of your turn. All effects affecting all beasties are removed, including your opponent's beasties. I believe first medal, it's 20-20 instead of 25-25, and for first place it's 50-50. It costs more, like 5 neutral and 75 LP, but it also only affects your beasties, all of your beasties, removing effects. So the medals are great. If I could get in another medals tournament and win a first place one, I would probably run both of these in a very specific deck I have in mind. But yeah, let's dive into what won me the games that day. One thing I did want to point out, though, guys, if you do intend on playing this game competitively, you got to read the tournament rules. I went there kind of like blindsided because I'm so used to playing on TTS and just casually with friends where we just write down our fourth wall list. And I was like, yeah, my fourth wall is coal, plant, radio, and stone. And it said in the rules that, their rules, they stipulated for this tournament in their LGS that you needed to have physical fourth wall items present, and I just completely missed the memo on that. So it was my bad, but I did end up taking second place even without any of my fourth wall items active. However, characteristics like live in the USA and American citizen for my barbecue Sam, that was obviously active, and what I was wearing, I wore flannel and official MetaZoo merchandise. I was wearing my Dimac Piazza shirt to boost my Frogman, Mailman, Loveland Mailman, not my Frogman, sorry. And the flannel was kind of a defensive move in the event we encountered any T-Kettlers. But yeah, let's move this stuff over here, and we'll show you the deck. All right, we're going to start with our beasties first and foremost, and that is Adam Ackler. The whole mindset of this deck was I need beasties with fleet. If they get killed, I want them to have done work for me. Ackler's cool because he's 4 neutral, so no matter what aura I have, as long as I hit 4, I can get him out. And you can choose light or dark for this page, and if you choose light, he heals things 20, and if you choose dark, he does an additional 20 damage. Ooh, and scared, I believe, or fuck. Yeah, I forgot about the scared too. Damn, that's sick. Next we have 3 copies of the green fireballs. Shout out to Chris from the Dueling Brothers. I know they just recently won the King of the Chill tournament with a Spirit Flame deck, and that ran 9 of these guys. It's an incredible card. I would love to go that route with this kind of deck, but I figured 3's the perfect amount for this deck. You just want them available to you early in the game, especially if you're struggling to hit aura, but you have just enough to, you have 2 in this instance to get them out. The ability to do that 1 burn, and when you remove the final burn indicator from a caster, and depending on how many are on the field, it does 25 damage. That's just always helpful, but not the primary focus of this deck. Next we have, in my opinion, maybe one of the goats of this deck, Griddle Greaser Pete. I remember when I first was playtesting, I took him out for a while. I'm like, oh, he's just too easy to kill, 40 LP and nothing protecting him. But the fleet and being able to burn your opponent 7, priceless, completely did so much work for me that day. I had him powered up Reddit at some point. Pete was doing work, and I'm very grateful to have him in this deck. This deck would be completely different without Pete. We have Piazza Bird, of course. It's easy to hit the 3 flames, so it's not that hard to get them out. They have flight, and if you get the Desert Terra out, which we do have a Desert Terra in here, he could potentially be swinging for 175 in burn, and reducing fire spells by 1. So just an absolutely essential BC in this deck. Next, we have 1 copy of Headless Coal Miner. I would typically run 3, but this deck already has a boatload of cards. But that being said, even just 1 is plenty. He does so much work with the Dynamite tokens, Spirit. Great card. The neutral will come in handy when we discuss our aura. We also then run, I think, 1 Father Sam Barbecue Revolutionary. This guy was another MVP. Anytime he hit the board, the enemy was scared. They were not happy about it. Not physically scared, but they were just like sweating because of how much damage he does, or just focusing all of their effort on him rather than anything else I had going on the board. So he did a lot of work with the barbecue tokens, being able to remove traits from things and or heal stuff. People would be attacking my Sam and past turn, I would just heal him. Really, really, really powerful card. And then the last of the beasties we run was one a lot of people didn't see coming, but I didn't wear pants that day. I showed up wearing shorts. We run 2 Fresno Nightcrawler. Now, up until this point, it's been strictly Flame. Most people I was playing against thought I was just Flame, but it's Flame with a dash of Cosmic, and this is why. Fresno's so good because not only do they have Fleet, hit for 50, basically what I've heard other people refer to as the Crystal Killers. They also have Spirit, so they can't be hit for the most part. And then as you contract them, you can cycle out any number of non-cosmic pages into your spellbook and then shuffle and then bookmark an equal number of those pages. So if my hand sucked ass, but I could get a Fresno out, I was able to recycle a bunch of my garbage hand and just start fresh. So that feels incredible. It's basically like a new beginnings effect. And they just swing for so much. If I had both of them out, they're swinging for 100 collectively. Sometimes my opponent would play Nighttime Terra, giving them a boost each. It's crazy. Next, we have our aura situation. We have 2 Prism Aura. For obvious reasons, we're wanting to hit both Flame and or Cosmic. Run 1 Neutrality, blah. That's because of how much neutral things we have going on in this deck. Even already, we have Ackler, Fireballs, Headless Coal Miner, Father Sam, and there's going to be more that would benefit from this card. So this card's just great in most decks, in my opinion, but I know it's not everybody's favorite when it comes to the special aura types. 1 singular Cosmic Aura. For the longest time, I was running 3. It felt clunky. 2 is probably smarter, but I do have the prisms and aura facts that we're about to get to. But then the main deck is fire, so we run 6 fire, I believe. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gotta hit that fire aura. This deck has so many cards. If you don't hit your aura, you will be sad. There was one game where all I got was a single prism aura out, and I got destroyed. So gotta be careful with that. If you don't like your hand, be sure to mulligan. Next, we're going to talk about the crystals we run. Chaos Crystal gives you a chance for Cosmic as well. Does die often, but if it stays on the field, does a shitload of work. We got 2 Unending Fire Crystals to try to boost our Piazza Bird and just our Aura presence, as well as 2 Twin Meteors. So this deck gets bullied when your opponent has Absorb Aura. They will have a field day, but if they don't or are not handling the Aura facts in time, you're going to be off to the races. Next, we have 2 pieces of equipment or artifact equipment. We have Laser Beam Upgrade. These are the only other Cosmic cards other than the Nightcrawlers and the Twin Meteor in the deck. So Yeah, everything else is flame for the most part, or neutral. That being said, these guys are so helpful. They get around stone skin, burrow, things that are flying, things that are spirit, anything you're struggling to hit. If you can get that under one of the pants, under one of the fireballs, any of these guys, they'll be doing some good work for you. Next, we get Area 51 out. It is a Desert Terra boosting Piazza Bird. It does slow your opponent down, but it also slows you down, so you have to play at your own risk. But the idea is the first beastie entering the arena that turn is inflicted with Confuse unless you pay an additional neutral aura for it. So yeah, tricky little card. Got to make sure you are aware that it's in the arena and that everyone's keeping up with that one because it's easy to overlook. Next, we play Cryptid Nation. Everyone should play it if you have cards that it makes sense for. So in this case, if I'm struggling to get my Fresno out, bam, use that. Get Father Sam, Piazza Bird, and most importantly, this next spell, Growth. If you're struggling to hit the Chaos, the 2 Prism to generate 2 Forest Aura, you can just use your Cryptonation to Growth, and I did do that, I believe. Well, no. Actually, at the tournament, I didn't have plant, so there was only one game in which I was allowed to use growth because a plant was within arm's reach of the arena, so my opponent allowed it. But every other game when I drew this, it was a dead hand. So again, be wary of your fourth walls and the rules of the tournaments you participate in. Next, we run 2 bookmark. Just like growth, it's just so important to be able to draw cards into your hand. This card won me games. New Year's New Beginnings. Absolutely brutal. Turn 1, get an aura out. Use that. Your opponent's going to cry. And speaking of cards that won me games, Power Up Red. Spell, I think, should be in every spell book. However, a lot of people know there are spells that counter this, so they're no longer running it. One that comes to mind is Second Anniversary Celebration. Stops neutral spells, makes everyone just bookmark 1. I did use this card numerous times to stop opponent power-up reds. I did have somebody either dampen or do this to my power-up red as well, but if any of my power-up reds went through, it was basically a game changer. Last 3 kind of cards we're running are more spells. We got Burning Effigies, greatest addition to the fire spell from Seance. It just does so much work by adding the 3 tokens, and they each do 25 damage as they're passed. I want to run more, but it gets clunky in this deck, so 3 seem to be the perfect amount. We run 2 Morpheus to put things to sleep. We are relying on hitting 1 Prism Aura at the very least, and or the Chaos Crystal. And last but not least, we main deck 2 Absorb Aura because it did me so much work. My opponents did run crystals, and if they didn't, I was absorbing my own stuff for the bookmark. So this deck is super aggressive, super fast. There are moments where you can get hung up, but for the most part, there are ways around it. We'll also dive into the side deck quickly. I run 1, Join the Seance, just in the event we're running up against more burrowed things, like, I don't know, the Frost matchup. Anything that's flying that we can't hit. We do have Piazza Bird, luckily, but other than that, we'd probably be relying on the guns. We run 1 Infinite Power in the event our opponent runs Special Aura. If they have a Possessed Aura or any of the Prism or Net Neutrality, we're going to want to try to destroy that. Since we're Flame Cosmic, we run an additional Area 51 with the idea of running 2 Abduction for removal purposes, but again, Abduction only works if you have Terra in the arena. Next, we run 2 First Anniversary Celebration, double-edged sword of a card, but it also does so much. Until the end of your next turn, you're nullifying all traits of all beasties, so it does kind of affect you as well. When you pass turn, they're going to be able to take out anything that was previously spirit, or however you want to look at it. We run 3 explosions specifically for the cosmic matchup, and boy howdy did I side deck in for that, because yeah, that cosmic matchup was tough. Got caught in the El Verde Flatwoods loop. I almost would bump this up to 4 and drop first Annie, to be perfectly honest, if I was revisiting this. Next we run 2 Toxic Water, just more trait nullification, especially good for burrowed beasties. 2 Loveland Mailman, and a Dampen. I wish I could run all 3 of them, but at this point we're too many cards. But that's the deck, that's the side deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know if there's any cards you would add or remove. But that's going to do it for this video. See you guys next time on Caster's Cast.